Okay, here we are with the step of putting the tiles onto the board. Now this was the part I was trying to explain of the measurement of the board itself and how critical it is. And I proved myself right by making a mistake, meaning each tile, as I said before, they're not exactly 4 by 4, but they're off by even up to a quarter of an inch. So I placed the tiles with little spacers. These little spacers are called tile spacers. Some people, these are the smallest ones, the 1/8 inch or the 3mm ones. Some installers prefer not putting any spacers at all and putting them next to each other. That is fine if they are perfectly square and all of the same size. This is not the case, so if I had put them all together, there would be no way to compensate for differences in measurements, and it would be all crooked across the table itself. But going back to the length, what I was trying to do when I first cut this was to make it so that it was slightly shorter than the entire length of all of the tiles put together plus the spacers between them. The reason that I wanted to be a little shorter was that I could have been able to compensate any mistakes by pushing the last, this part here, the last corner piece, in or out and compensate for any mistakes. As you can see, I made it a little too long, this board right here, too wide it is, and I can no longer compensate because I can't stretch, obviously, the tile. So there's a large gap here. So I'm going to have to take this part off again. These are just laid down right now. I have not put any thin set on it yet. I'll have to take these off and try to slice off a very thin slice of the board all along the length, maybe 1/2 inch or even less, 1/4 of an inch. In this case, I taped it with painter's tape just to check if I had made mistakes, and I'm glad I did because now I have to cut that. I also put my safety blanket here, which is a padded blanket in case one of the tiles falls and will not shatter. In this case, one actually did fall, and I'm lucky I had the blanket. I thought of it at the last minute, so I'm glad I did think of it. So it's worth taking that extra time just in case mistakes happen, as did happen here. So now I'm going to take these off. They're just put here. There's no glue or anything on it, and I will cut off a small section of the board lengthwise.